Today, I want to share my 10 tips for traveling for work while breastfeeding or pumping and have a breastfeeding baby at home. This video is dedicated to all the traveling mommies for work or for pleasure. Number one, do you know that actually pumping device is considered a medical device? So it's free in TSA. Basically, it means in addition to your one carry-on and one personal item, you can take your breast pump and all the component as an extra bag. You can just simply tell the gate checking agent, say this is my medical device, or this is my breast pump. They're usually very nice about it. I've been traveling with my breast pump to many different locations, and I think people have been very supportive because sometimes you don't want to really put them in your checked-in bag since you have to pump milk, and also you want them to be in a separate bag so they're not, in your work computer bag or in your suitcase that is hard to get it out. So I usually just bring extra bag in addition to my personal item and my suitcase. So that's tip number one. Your pumping device is free for TSA airports and for going to airplanes that I know of, at least in the USA. Number two, in the hotels I have stayed at, they almost all have freezers. Sometimes it's in your room, but most of the time it's actually in the, I would say, lobby or maybe the kitchen. But no matter where it is, you can always ask the staff there. You can say, hey, I have some breast milk. Can you please help me store my breast milk? I've never had anyone say no to me. All you have to do, just ask. And none of the hotels that, that told me that I have no freezer, basically, all hotels I stayed at, they always have a freezer that really helps you keep the breast milk fresh, as well as, easy breeze when you go home and take all your milk, or you package it and ship it home. Number three, get a pump bra really helped me. When I had a pump bra, I just really literally pump at the same time walking around, working, or sometimes, even go use the bathroom, or sometimes just, circumstances I have to pump while drive. I can drive safely while pumping because the pumping bra keep the pump in place, so I can just drive 20 minutes. When I park, I can just get my milk off and put it in my bag, etc. So I think pumping bra is really worth the investment. I use it all the time. It can be machine washed, and it's just very nice and convenient. Number four is speak up. Sometimes we have really long meetings or we have long work sessions. When I worked at a research farm, sometimes, our colleagues, they're just like, keep going and keep going. And sometimes you just have to speak up, say, hey, I have to take a break. Take a bio break. It literally is a bio break because your milk has to come out, both for yourself and for your baby. Or you can just say, hey, I need to go pump. I'll be back in 20 minutes. And so far, all my colleagues have been very supportive and just very understanding. They say, oh, yeah, just go and take your time. And so I trust that you have colleagues very supportive as well. Just speak up. Number five, I think that's a very interesting one, is I would love to normalize pumping. Of course, we want to normalize breastfeeding in public. I think being a new mom is hard enough, and please don't give them a hard time when they breastfeed in public, so that they can go out or enjoy a park or anything that a normal human being can enjoy. Or maybe they have older kids and they're watching their older kids in a park. And I would like to really, for all of us to normalize breastfeeding and normalize pumping. When I was pumping, I've pumped in restaurant because sometimes that's my only break I get in the whole day, and that's the only place that I can really wash my hands and pump my milk. And I'm so grateful it worked out for me. And sometimes maybe there's going to be people staring at you, and you know, hey, if you're curious, I'm just pumping. Sometimes you can have a very slight scarf, cover it if you like, or not, like it's just pumping. So really normalize pumping in public. You know, one time I pumped, you know, in the middle seat of an airplane. I have two gentlemen, one on my left, one on my right. They've been just very understanding and supportive and just let me pump. Sorry for a little bit whoosh, 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 noise from the pump, but I think that's part of the fun and part of feeding our next generation with good nutrients. So yes, normalize pumping in public. When I was talking to some women who are probably in their 60s, they told me when they were working, they have to pump in the bathroom. I said, oh my gosh, this is 2024. Please, women don't have to pump in the bathroom. I know there's like a nursery pod sometimes in the airport, but you know, sometimes it's not always feasible to spend 20-30 minutes and stay there and pump. So sometimes you just have to walk and pump in an airplane, pump while driving, pump in a restaurant, pump anywhere. So hey, just normalize pumping for our mamas now or future mamas, so they feel included, welcome, and they feel judgment free. Number 6, sometimes I watch my baby videos while I pump. It's just I feel like, you know, there's a connection there. It's almost as if he was there, because I loved and enjoyed breastfeeding. So pumping sometimes is not as enjoyable. So I try to really, you know, think about him, or just, you know, just watch him giggling, or sometimes even crying. And a lot of mommy knows that cries really bring the milk out if you have a hard time. So sometimes, you know, watch baby videos and bring them in the thoughts. That helps a lot. Number 7 is to prioritize rest. Rest and rest. If you're like me, your milk production ratio is positively correlated with your sleep time, rest time, and negatively correlated with your stress level. So when you rest well, you can produce milk better, more, and more effortlessly. But also it helps avoid clogged milk ducts for me, and, you know, mastitis, if you can be more stress-free and, you know, has more rest. Which that means sometimes when we have colleagues want to do a late night dinner or late night fun, in other times I will say yes, but during breast pumping time, breastfeeding years, I might just say no thank you, I gotta go back to my hotel room, pump and rest to get ready for the next day. I think that's totally fine. Nice breeze from my backyard. But of course, it's okay to say yes to any late night hangout or fun. You can have alcohol if you want. Some moms, they do pump and dump. Some moms, they save the milk for like a bath for babies. Some moms, like I have a goofy friend, hand the milk to me and my other friends to taste with alcohol. I know it's very silly, but it's really, really fun as well. So whatever you want to do with the milk, you can label it, hey, with, you know, alcohol or without, and you can just have a late night fun. So yeah, either way. Number 8 is really plan enough time. Sometimes when you need to pump, unfortunately, it is really extra time on you. For example, sometimes you can get up at 7 a.m. and you can make it to a conference at 8 a.m. no problem. But with breast pumping, you may need to get up at 6:15 to get the pump together, start pumping, and then, you know, get the milk go to the front desk and give to the staff to put in the freezer. So to be honest, it is a bit extra love, extra work, extra labor. The same applies to at night. So normally maybe, you know, you can go to bed, say, go to bed at 10:30, but with breast pumping, sometimes, you know, it takes extra longer because after night, another session of night pumping, you still need to wash the pumps, you know, clean them, put them nicely on the counter to dry, and then also go downstairs to give your milk to the staff to keep it in the freezer. That all take extra time. So this tip is truly to budget extra time, both for your mornings and for your evenings and for your lunch times, etc. Number 9 is cut your trip short if you can. Maybe previously you can have a 5-6 day long trip and it's no problem and it's okay. But sometimes, you know, when you breastfeed, when you leave your baby too long, for one, you may not want to leave them too long. Secondly, for me personally, if I leave them too long, I start to have clogged milk duct. Unfortunately, even the best machines, they're just not as efficiently as baby sucking. They cannot be replaced by baby sucking, at least for me. For other moms, it might be different, or maybe for other breast pump, it could be different. I have a great pump, you know, it's portable. I can just recharge it as Medina's, and I love it. And I can just put it in my pocket, very convenient. So I can pump while walking. So I loved it. And but still, sometimes I cannot replace it with a baby sucking for myself. So maybe just cut the trip to maybe 3 days if you can. Number 10 is sometimes you really miss your baby. I would say when you are in an airplane, a lot of times there's some babies or kids, especially those parents need some extra hand, extra help, and they have crying babies. If you feel like to, of course, maybe you can hold a baby or two. I have definitely done that, and for some reason, I'm not sure, like babies, they just drawn to you and they just, you know, love a new mommy. And sometimes I have helped calming down some fussy babies in the airplane. I feel very good. I feel I have helped some struggling parents or grandparents with their babies and toddlers. But I also get a baby fix by, you know, cuddling babies. You know, they're all our babies on this earth in a way, right? We are one, we are family. So those are my 10 tips for breastfeeding or breast pumping while traveling for work or traveling for pleasure. I really hope this video helps you become more confident about pumping in public or pumping in the airplane or traveling through TSA. You got this, mommy, you got this, you can do it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask me. I'd be more than happy to offer what I know. And best luck, and thank you for, you know, for all these great efforts, feeding your baby, and yeah, and enjoy this journey. For me, that breastfeeding phase has already passed. That breast pumping phase have passed as well. Thank God. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's really fun too. Oh, last bonus tip. I heard from a pro, my mom friend Hannah. During a 24-hour stretch, sometimes instead of just washing your pumps for every time you pump, right, 5 or 6 times, just put it in the fridge and just wash it one time in the 24-hour period. All right, now you have it. 10 plus 1 bonus tips for breastfeeding and pumping while traveling or at home. See you next time.